time management is a constant battle, okay? Especially with real estate, time is of the essence. But if you don't control your calendar, someone else will. Your wife's controlling it, your husband's controlling it, your teenagers are controlling it, your dog's even controlling your calendar, okay? Your grandkids, your clients, your buyers, your sellers, your team leader. You have to control your calendar if you want to be successful. If you don't control your calendar, you could be successful, but you could have a massive amount of anxiety, stress, and most importantly, if you're not, go ahead, Chris.
If I can just throw in one little thing, right? Tanya's 100% on point, and we all have these things, but so do your clients. This is a great way. I keep saying it. This is a great way to build rapport. When you know that you're stressed, that means your clients are stressed. We're all coming into summertime. This is a perfect time to be sending things out for them to let their kids go do summer camps, things that will free up their time. So just a side note, it's a great way to build rapport with somebody.
Yes, exactly. So what I'd like you to do, this is going to be a little interactive, okay? I want you to put in the comments, everybody, what is your biggest time waster? The biggest. I'm not talking about 20 million time wasters. Oh, we got Gisela coming in. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna actually have you put two because I know we have many. All right. So what are your biggest time wasters? Off the top of your head, let's talk about what your biggest time waster is, okay? And here's the thing. I know, like Martin, you said, let me go back to the comments here. Biggest time waster. So hi, Gisela. So in the comments, and if you're driving, just tell us what your biggest time waster is, okay? Woo, Sarah, it's Instagram. Michaela, it's social media. Martin, it's your 9 to 5 job. Lauren, it's scrolling social media. Martha, it's books. Sarah Jordan, it's also your 9 to 5 job. Chris Nolan, driving and people showing up late. Errands, Dee Dee errands and everyone else's to-dos. Trying to do too many things at once. Okay, awesome. Okay, Gisela, what is your biggest time waster? So I would say mine, I was social media. I would also say it's social media because the problem is with social media, you have your messenger, right? Like now we're actually interacting there as opposed to email, and then we have text. And one of my biggest time wasters is OPP, other people's problems. Like this is my codependency. Like it's always everybody calls. Does anyone here feel like cell phones have us connected, but they also have us like everything's drama? Like is anybody and everybody's drama all day? Like you get 5 calls, 3 calls, everyone wants to call you because there's some sort of drama. Your family is probably a huge time waster as well. And the good news is we're connected with our family. And what I see with a lot of people, it's family. Okay. So I want to talk about a couple of the time wasters. I want to talk about some solutions. And then I want to talk about some tools that can help you guys, right? Here's the thing. Done is better than perfect. Okay. The perfect schedule is the perfect freedom. Okay. Done is better than perfect. The perfect schedule is the perfect freedom. Okay. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. Okay. So what some of us do, raise your hand if you're with me. You're like, you know what? I'm going to spend 4 hours on the perfect schedule. I'm going to buy a paper planner and I'm going to color code it. And then I'm going to put all the pretty things in it. Good morning, Leslie. I'm going to put all the pretty things in it, right? And then I'm going to spend like a whole week on it. And then you don't do crap. Anybody with me? Like, it's like you look at your calendar and you're like, you know what? I did what everybody told me. I did all the color coding, right? I did all the things. I did what I'm supposed to do. And when I look at it, this is exactly what I am supposed to do. but it's overwhelming me. Okay. I'm freaking overwhelmed. I don't know how to do all of these 10 things, which means you're not prioritizing. Okay. Some of you need to not have this insane calendar. You know what you need to have is only the producing activities, because you'll find time for everything else. Okay. So if you get distracted and you get overwhelmed at your calendar, then it's time to simplify your calendar. Okay. So don't be spending a whole week, 2 weeks on your calendar anymore. It's not working for most of you. Okay. So here it is, right? If you don't have control over your calendar, you will never be able to leverage and scale. Okay. So with the raise of hands or in the chat, who has a paper calendar and who has a Google? Actually, I'm going to ask this. Who is still sticking to paper 100%? Anybody? Please don't say that. Okay. All right, good. If you guys aren't using an electronic calendar, a Google Calendar, you need to. Chris, I don't know if this works for you, but I was just talking to someone who has a transaction coordinator. Actually, in Colorado, if you need a transaction coordinator, he's selling, you don't have one that's working. We have one up in, she has 20 years experience up in Denver. But what she does is she puts all the deadlines for all the contingency removals on your Google Calendar too, right? So you guys have to be able to work electronically if you're out with clients. So sounds like none of you guys are doing this, but if you are doing paper calendar, which a lot of realtors are, that I coach, you got to get away from that. And you have to be able to look at your calendar. Okay. So I want to go into the biggest time wasters and I want to talk about that. Okay. Some of the bad habits that create inconsistency is too much time on social media, right? A lot of people's too much time on social media. And we're going to talk about some solutions with that. Not having a bedtime or a wake up time. This seems so minimal for most, like it just seems trivial, right? But when you don't have a bedtime and you're just flopping in bed on social media, looking at everybody's profiles that don't even give a crap about you, probably, right? And just so you know, a lot of that's fake book. Okay. So while you're there, here's the thing that I find with social media and with coaching. Most people that scroll on social media, they're looking at everybody, but more than anything, unless they're replying to people and interacting, they are having comparison issues. It actually, social media is making people feel more bad about themselves than it is better about themselves. Anybody want to comment on that? Anybody?
I was actually just looking for a link and I'm putting it in. Oh, that's not it. I'm trying to put a link in the chat, but The Morning Miracle by Hal Enrod. If you're having trouble getting going in the morning, outstanding book. And he has a version just for realtors.
Miracle Morning for Realtors.
I agree, Chris. I love that book. Love it. It changed my life. It's really good.
Yeah.
I became a morning person because of that book.
See here, that book is really good, but I'm gonna let you know a trap with some of these time management books. Okay. And some of these time management systems. Like he has all the time savers, right? Some people can do those time savers in 15 minutes, and some people spend 4 hours on the time savers. Like, you know what? I am doing my morning routine and I am feeling so good about myself today. And I'm doing my personal development and I'm doing my professional development and I'm reading my Bible and I'm actually calling everybody up saying thank you because I'm in my gratitude mode. And then I'm also doing my visualization. Do you get me? Chris, what do you have to add to that?
No, I mean, I understand you, but the bottom line is, you can't fit a square peg into a round hole, right? And, with all of these things, you take the components that work for you. The Morning Miracle, for me, the biggest thing is that morning routine, getting up and actually having your water next to your bed, having your clothes ready from the night before, knowing what you wear. If you guys notice on the meetings, I have the same exact shirts. They're just different colors. I wear the same shirts, same, pants, same tie every day. It cuts down on, I don't have to think about it. I know what I'm wearing right now. For you ladies, you
Wait,
like
did you clean it or is it smelly?
Yeah, no. I have 6 of the same or 8 of the same shirt, so I
It's like a
rotate them out.
uniform. It's like a
Absolutely,
uniform, right?
100%, right? But it's one less thing that I have to worry about. So as you do these things and you start to get on point, it becomes the routine. And I feel it drastically when I get outside of my routine. That routine sets my tone. I'm also up, now some of this might scare some of you guys, but I'm up at 4 every morning, right? And the reason why I do that is I get up, I go to the gym, I do my thing, right? I have my whole routine, but that's my time. And my phone typically doesn't start ringing, until close to 7 o'clock. So that gives me enough time to really get my day going. And by the time my phone starts ringing, I've already accomplished more than most people will in the entire day.
Exactly. And you know what I love about what you're saying is when we can eliminate also decision making, right? Constantly making decisions. And if we could create habits in our life, we can be more productive. Like there are people when they go on a plane and they have somebody say, hey, make my flight. I always sit in section A, right? Or in the first 10 rows or the first 3 rows. I always order this. And then I have my like the same jewelry, the same this. I actually started that with the program that I'm building. I'm like, I'm only wearing 3 outfits. I'm not going to like go back and forth. And it actually looks really cool because it's uniform. All right. So not having a bedtime, a wake up time. The book that Chris recommended is also on Audible. Okay. I highly recommend, like he said, the one Miracle Morning for Realtors. Okay. Not having a schedule at all. Okay. You don't have to have this super duper crazy schedule, but you have to have some schedule. And with real estate, a lot of people get into real estate because they want time freedom and they want flexibility and they have too much of it. Okay. So nothing gets done. So you have to have the time. For me, what time am I going to be in my chair? Right. I'm going to be in my chair at 9 or be in my chair at 9:30. Does it happen every day? It doesn't, but it's on my mind. Like, oh crap, I got to hurry up. I got to get my workout done. I got to get my journaling done. I want to be in my chair by 9. And a lot of times I'll try to push it by like 30 minutes. And I'm a person that I always run perpetually late. Okay. And part of it is I'm putting 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. And it's something that I'm constantly working on. Okay. So it's like, if I give myself a half hour leeway, then that helps. Okay. So letting people run your schedule. Okay. So this is if you work from home, you have no boundaries. Nobody knows what your schedule is. Nobody knows from 9 to 12, I'm prospecting. I'm sorry, babe, but on Monday or Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm either previewing property or I'm showing property. And I'm going to show you a calendar where you can like focus on really dialing in your schedule. Okay. Lack of discipline with food or other vices, right? So a lot of people like they're like always going out to lunch and they're eating, they're doing other things in the middle of the day because it's what they do, and it basically helps or prevents them from being productive. The company you keep, people in your life, right? You're the sum total of your 5 closest friends when you're younger, but you're the sum total of your 5 closest peers, business people. Okay. So if you just got back into real estate, or if you are leaving a job and coming into real estate, or if you've been in real estate and you have a circle that's not working for you, you have to hang around productive people. You have to find a group that's going places. Okay. Not people that are constantly complaining. Okay. And then again, not following the schedule you have. All right. But one thing that I really want to point out, a lot of this is willpower. Okay. So I want to play this short video for you guys about willpower and discipline. Okay. This is from Monk Like Discipline. And then we're going to go into the resources. Okay. Let's see. Tell me if you could hear it. You should be able to.
Systems and
Can you hear it?
tools so that you can stay on the rails and keep yourself
hear
in
it?
check.
Yes.
So why success is the sum of your human will.
Sorry,
So
I didn't
where
get
we're
any
at
thumbs
the
up. Chris,
stage
can
of
you hear it?
mindset training.
Mhm.
We've defined your vision, mission, and principles, as well as who you are right now and who you need to become to make your vision and mission become a reality. And the missing piece. So right now, we know what we want and we know who we need to become to get it. But actually executing it and seeing it through to the end, that's the hard part. That is the missing piece. And what success really is it's just the sum of your human will. And if you study any insanely successful person, and you'll find that the height of their suffering and pain will be equal to the height of their success. And the reason they can take this suffering and pain is due to their willpower. You know, they want something so bad that they're willing to go through hell and to get it. And they actually kind of like it. And that's what it takes to go to that next level. So what is willpower? What is human will? So it's the ability to control yourself, your impulses, and your actions. And it's strong determination that allows you to do something difficult without giving up or getting distracted. And it's basically self-control. And successful people have this on another level. This is really that superpower. Self-control and self-discipline. So how do we get more? How do we get more willpower? How do we get more self-control and self-discipline? Well, the first thing that really builds willpower, and it builds willpower like nothing else. You know, a lot of people think that, oh, if I want to get energized, then, and if I want to get motivated, I should watch a motivational video or read a motivational book. Or, you know, I should, I don't know, do a course on how to get motivated or something. This isn't how you get motivated. You know, really, it's discipline. Discipline is the most powerful thing for building energy and determination. And that's why I call it the tool of the masters. So motivation versus discipline. So most people rely on motivation to get things done. And then when it runs out, which it always does, they give up and they wait for more motivation to come. Again, you know, they sit there and they're like, oh, I'm just waiting for my motivation to come back. You know, this is what losers do. Winners do not do this. And true masters rely on discipline, not motivation. You know, people are not motivated all the time. Pro athletes, pro businessmen, they're not motivated at all sometimes. Sometimes they're completely demotivated, but they don't stop because their discipline is what keeps them going, not their motivation. And so if you want to go to that next level, you got to forget about motivation. I mean, if you have it, awesome, use it. But if you don't have it, doesn't matter. Your discipline is what keeps you going. So self-discipline, what is it? Well, it's the ability to control your feelings and overcome your weaknesses. And it's the ability to pursue what you think is right despite temptations to abandon it. And if you really want to build self-discipline, you need to get used to delaying gratification. So the secret to self-discipline is to train yourself to think long-term and live in accordance to your long-term goals. This means you're addicted to long-term gratification, not instant gratification. So what's instant gratification? It's the desire to experience pleasure or fulfillment without delay or deferment. Basically, it's when you want it and you want it now. So instant gratification is like, you know, I have this thought, I want to take an action, and I want to have the thought, then take the action immediately, and then receive the reward immediately. So just all instant, right? There's no long time period. So things that really get you hooked on instant gratification is social media, likes, comments, views, sugar, fast food, smoking, drugs,
Dopamine.
alcohol, Netflix, partying, socializing, gossiping, etc. All of these things are very stimulating and very immediate. So you do the action, like you drink the alcohol, you feel its effect. It's instant gratification. You smoke a cigarette, you feel that rush or whatever it is that smokers feel. Or you eat that sugar or that chocolate, you feel it instantly because you know, the sugar hits you and you also, it tastes good. And social media, you know, you just keep scrolling on that news feed. Just keep pulling that lever on that slot machine. Just keep cranking it. You know, something might pop up. Something might, We don't know. It's the fact we don't know that makes it so damn addictive. Just keep cranking on that wheel. And so really, if you want to get self-discipline, you need to practice the inverse of instant gratification. So weaning yourself off social media and all of that crap is great. And then getting yourself hooked on delayed gratification, great. That's how you start to develop steel-like discipline. So here's 11 things that you should do to develop self-discipline.
Okay, I'm going to give this to you guys. This is the monk-like discipline. I'm going to challenge you guys. It's actually really long. It's an hour. It's almost 2 hours. I'm going to challenge you guys to at least listen to the first hour of it and just be focused and figure out, like, how can I learn delayed gratification? How can I get my rest, right? How can I, exercise, eat clean, and try to really plan your time management months, weeks, days, hours deliberately in advance, and then learn to say no to things. Okay. Right now, success is, you in order to reach your goals, to be successful, you have to reach your goals, but success is really the sum total of your sacrifices. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize this. I was off video. Success is the sum total of your sacrifices. So the question is, how many sacrifices are you willing to make? Are you willing to sacrifice not gossiping? Like, I'm telling you, gossip right now, like, even my mom will call me and talk about all of my family members. And I'm like, I cannot get this time back. And I actually don't even care about that person like that. Like, I haven't talked to them in years. Like, I can't get my time back. Right. So if you, cut down on gossip. So if someone starts talking about other people, just say, hey, let's talk about something positive, right? Because there's nothing that you can do about other people's lives for the most part. The only life that you can control is your own, okay? And if other people in your life constantly have issues, you're going to have to figure out what in your environment is pulling you away from your goals. And sometimes you have to leave the house, okay? So focusing on discipline, focusing on delayed gratification, learning how to get rid of that instant gratification and weaning yourself off. And like he said, being hooked on delayed gratification, okay? So social media, let's talk about that. That's one of the biggest things right now, because we're like, oh, we need it for our business. We need this and that. One of the things that you could do with social media, right? We need it. And if you feel like you want to stay connected, then give yourself a reward. You know what? That's how I'm going to, as long as I get up, I go to the gym, or I move my body, move more to be more, I make my phone calls, I get to earn my social media time. Okay. And one of the things that helps a lot of people that have the social media, or a lot of people do games on their phones, is they set a timer. They're like, you know what? I'm going to sit here in bed right now. I like this instead of watching TV, whatever, but I'm going to have a timer. And once that timer goes off, then it's time for bed. Okay. Or let's just say this is your morning routine. You like to wake up, you like to kind of scroll for a minute, right? The minute you start scrolling, give yourself a 15-minute timer. When that timer goes off, don't hit snooze. Just be like, you know what? That is my timer to get my butt out of bed and to get my day started. Okay. Or if you are going to be on social media, use Hank Avink's. I think it's 30-25-5. Like, go in, do some likes, do some interactions, do some comments, and make your time work for you. Okay. One of the other things that you could do about social media is you could actually take the app off your phone, but keep the messenger on. Okay. So maybe every night before you go to bed, maybe you just take it off your phone, remove the app. And the only way you can go into the app is you actually have to load it again. Okay. It's actually not that hard. One of the other things is, since it's a thumb habit, move your app to like your 5th screen. Take your Facebook app off of the first screen. Take your Instagram app, your TikTok app, take them off your first screen. Because am I Am I right here, you guys? Like it's just a habit because you're like, let me check my texts. Let me just look at TikTok really quick. Let me look at this. Okay. Make it harder for yourself. Okay. So, okay. So let's talk about Instagram, social media. We talked about that. You're 9 to 5. Okay. So the 9 to 5, obviously you're feeding your family, that kind of thing. But almost every single person that got into real estate and has come in full time came from another job. Okay. So if you have a 9 to 5 and you really want to make it in this business, then you have to wake up early. Or your lunches, maybe you're not hanging out at the water cooler, right? Maybe you're not hanging out on social media. Maybe you're like, during my lunchtime, if I could get 1 hour a week, okay? Let's just say it's 5 hours a week. If you had 5 hours of focused time, whether it's morning, whether it's night, or whether it's afternoon, 5 hours of focused time on your business, right? Reaching out to people, scheduling open houses, following up with people, connecting, asking for the business. Like you could get a lot done in 5 hours. Chris, what do you want to add to that with the 9 to 5ers?
You gotta be, you just gotta be deliberate with your time. I mean, I started doing real estate while I was in another job. I had to be very deliberate with my time. You're only gonna have so many hours, so you gotta be on point. I agree with what Tanya's saying. Limit those outside noises. But
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, the outside noises, they're gonna hurt you. We all have things pulling on us. So bottom line is pick your priority and drive into it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Are you interested or are you committed? Are you interested in getting out of your 9 to 5? Okay. Or maybe you don't want to get out of your 9 to 5. Maybe you like your job, but you're like, you know what? I could use an extra $30,000 or $50,000, or I could use an extra $10,000, which is like 2 sales, right? Break it down, right? I have 100 things going on right now and I'm going back into selling. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm like, by the end of the year, I want to have 5 sales minimum. What do I have to do? Guess what I have to do? Less time on social media. I have to dial in my workouts. And then guess what? If I'm hanging out with friends, you know what I'm doing? I'm meeting my friends at the gym in the morning. If they want to see me, hey, and I actually have 4 people at the gym that they're my family and friends. That's our social hour. Hey, do you want to go have coffee after this? Sorry, can't do it. We just had our social hour, right? You have to change your habits. And then here's the other thing. If you have goals where you're committed, find an accountability partner, you guys. Everybody here, who needs an accountability partner? Put it in the chat, okay? But if you're going to ask to be an accountability partner, then you need to show up. Sarah, you need an accountability partner, okay? Who needs accountability partner, okay? So the accountability partners, you guys get on and you say, we're going to do this every day for 15 minutes every day. We're either going to text and say, hey, what are your goals? What are your wins? What are your goals? What are your wins? Or maybe we're going to get on and we're not just going to talk about, the market, blah, 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 blah. We're only talking about productive things. Okay. Hey, how are you doing? What's working for you? Okay. What are you going to do this week? Okay. Text me and let me know what you're going to do. Okay. An accountability partner is huge right now. Okay. So going back to the accountability partner, maybe you need to sit your significant other aside. Or maybe if you're single like me, I was single and I was with my son and he had his business. I had my business. I was like, all right, let's go. We're going to get up early. What can I do to help you with your goals? Okay. When you ask other people, hey, what can I do to help you stay on track for your goals? Okay. For me, in my relationship, he's building a business. So I'm like, hey, if you're going to come to San Diego, if you're going to come to Colorado, right? I'm not going to have a ton of time. Like it's going to be eat, sleep, repeat, and gym. And at night we'll be in coffee shops working. Is that okay with you? Because that's where I'm at for this next 90 days. He's like, that's okay with me. Okay. Like that's all we're going to do. And then we're going to earn it on the weekends. So the thing is, you have to have people that are just on fire for succeeding in whatever the heck they're doing, right? Some people are going to school. Some people are they're at their other jobs. And I mean, right now, I mean, if people are complacent in your life right now, it's time to have conversations with different people. You don't have to kick these people out of their lives because some of them are your spouses, but it's have a hard conversation and say, you know what? I have goals, but like, you're supposed to be my partner in life. We're supposed to be partners. Like Chris said, build your tribe. Like, I didn't sign up to have a complacent life. Right now, with the economy the way it is, I don't even care if it's real estate. There is no time for us to be complacent, right? We have to keep each other accountable. We have to be healthy. We have to be healthy mentally, spiritually, financially. And all I need from you is let's keep each other accountable. Okay. Mindset. Okay. You have to find people with the same mindset. I used that same thing on my daughter yesterday, interested or committed to go into film. I love that. Do the hard things others don't want to do. I got to tell you, Michaela, I was texting Michaela. So Michaela and I were talking about working out, right? She's like, I'm having some time management challenges. I love working out. Like, that's part of her and her lifestyle, right? But she's super busy with her job. She has a relationship, right? Like, how do you manage it all, right? But listen, Michaela, if you can't manage your relationship and your work, like, as you become more of an adult, right? Like, how are you going to manage more people, right? A team, a family, like, you have to get that down now. None of us have it perfect. Okay. Trust me. It's about eliminating. Okay. So Gisela, what is your take on this? What are you getting from this? If you're still there, because Gisela is a Buddhist realtor.
I'm still here. I think you're right. It's a little bit of give and take. For me, because I am super busy in my work. I am a mom of 4, 3 of which are still in my home, and very demanding schedules even on their own. And then also, I'm a spouse. My husband's in the military, so he deploys often. And because he's SF, his job takes him for trainings outside of deployment, so he's never home. I have found that I had to find the things that I just had to concede on. Like, my house may not always look perfect, right? And that's not a big deal for me. We might not eat at home 7 nights a week. We might have dinner out 5 days a week, and finding healthy alternatives for that. Taking advantage of shopping services like Instacart or like delivery and like that stuff. That made a huge difference for me when I was willing to concede on some of those things.
I love it. So that reminds me, delegation. Okay. Too many people that I work with are not willing. There's this control issue, like, oh, I don't want him to clean the house because it's not going to be perfect. Or we can afford a housekeeper, but she doesn't do it right. Right. One of the first things with success is getting organized. Okay. Being organized, making your bed in the morning. If your desk is unorganized, because I'm like the Tasmanian devil, I have to go through and be like, okay, I got to organize this. Okay. If you can afford a housekeeper, get a housekeeper, right? Because there's a book called A Housekeeper is Cheaper Than a Divorce. It's true. Because a lot of men are like, oh no, you can clean the house. It's like, do you want me to clean the house or do you want me to take care of a family and work? Like, A or B, okay? So the thing is you got to figure out what are some things I can give up, okay? So I want you guys to put this in the text, in the comments. What is something that you can give up or should give up, sacrifice for your goals, okay? Let's just talk about that. And I do want to talk about your environment a little bit, okay? So we're going to go into your environment. I'm going to actually have you guys look at this, okay? So this is important, okay? So right here, all right? Be focused. What is draining me in my home environment that needs to change, okay? Let's talk about that. Put that in the comments. What in my home environment is draining me that needs to change? What is distracting you? I put draining, but what's distracting you that needs to change? Does anybody want to comment on that? This isn't a divorce seminar, by the way. It's okay. Anybody in their home environment, anybody right now, okay? No? All right, well,
Oh.
I'll comment.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a shopping habit. It is a very bad, like, that's my habit, right? It's what I do when I'm stressed, I go shopping. It's what I do when I am happy, I go shopping. It's like my thing. And I just have too much stuff. And I actually talked to somebody about this yesterday, about how, like, we just have so many things, the things that we don't even need or use, and I'll just buy them just because. And so that, I feel like, is my biggest distraction in my home.
Okay. And do you use most of it, or is it just there?
It's most of it is just there at this point. I'm
Okay.
never home. Why would I use it?
Yeah. So Gisela, I know what your production's like right now. Okay. You and I are going to be spending a couple days going to, is it UVW in Michigan?
UWM.
UWM. I always get that wrong. So let's talk about that, because with you, while you are productive and while you can afford it, you should figure out. Yeah, I mean, Tiffany had some professional organizers come in. Okay. One, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything, but you need to find a space for it all. And then you only bring things in your house that give you good vibes, that give you good energy. Take it from me. I had a $3,600 million house in California with brand new furniture and everything. After the crash, right, we moved to like a 1,400 square foot house. Since then, I think I've moved 7 times since divorce. And I will tell you, I am happier now with my home environment, not meaning that my kids are gone. That makes me sad. I'm happy that the husband's not there, but just kidding. I'm happy in my home environment because it's simple. When I wake up, I don't feel like there's just stuff everywhere. The more you simplify your life and the more you go to a minimalist lifestyle, it doesn't have to happen in every room. It could just be one room at a time, right? So Gisela, I would recommend that you have somebody come in, right, that you trust, and maybe you're like, oh, I can't give everything away, but they take everything out of those rooms and put them somewhere. And then once a week, you have to go through three boxes. Okay. And then the other thing is, I have a rule. It's love it or leave it. When I go try something on, if I get something from Amazon, if I go somewhere and I'm like, I don't know, if I'm looking for a, like timeshare thing, it's called the Millionaire Minute. And the Millionaire Minute, this is from the Millionaire Next Door book, which is, he's the millionaire next door, American cars, everything's paid off. Unassuming. It is, before you buy something, you have to walk away from it, whether it's at a store or whether it's on Amazon, before you hit send. You have to take the emotion out of it. So before you do that, you know what? Tanya said that I need 5 to 15 minutes or whatever long it takes you. And if I still want it, I'll get it. But you have to take the Millionaire Minute if you want to avoid that shopping habit, and then love it or leave it. That's the things in your house. Do I love it? Nope. Leave it. And the thing is, it's like when you put stuff, I like to say, you know what? I like it, but if I put it back into the world, someone will love it. Right. So that's my recommendation for you. Anybody else? Okay, so I want to talk about the schedule. Okay. So that's your home environment. Okay. So I'm going to send this to you guys, and it's what in my home environment needs to change. What are some actions that I will to take to improve my home environment? Right here. A lot of you guys work from home. What is draining me in my work environment? Maybe it's your desk that needs to change. Maybe it's your home. What are some action takes? What are some action steps? Okay. So it's like, what about my environment? If you change one thing and eliminate it, it's going to help you. All right. So the perfect week, Chris Nolan gave me this sheet here. Okay. And so this is a sheet that a lot of people are asking, like, how do I schedule my days? What I love about this sheet, it has coaching, it has office meetings, huddles, office, work, role play. You guys could change this around. Buyer appointment, open houses, open house tours, prospecting, top 50, ABC follow-up, quiet time, client time, meal, workout, home, personal, fake work. I have no idea what that means. Social media, wake up, pray, give thanks. Okay. So one of the things that I find, and this, I made this mistake myself, is, and I've seen a lot of people make it, entrepreneurs, what they do is they don't schedule their family time proactively before they start working on their schedule. So one of the things I recommend, make sure you guys write this down, is go get one of those like 90-day calendars, whether you put it on your desk, whether you put it on your wall. I actually will put a link. I have a 90-day calendar that's a dry erase calendar. And I literally go first and I put, these are my vacations, these are my family times. And for those of you that have kids, trust me, you will make this mistake if you do not do this, or if you haven't already. You got to get your kids' schedule, their college schedule, all of the kids' 2024-25 schedules, and literally need to put spring break. You know, this is when they have their awards ceremonies. So many realtors don't go to award ceremonies because they're like, I didn't even know, when it's actually on the calendar, right? Maybe you have, they're on a winter break. Kids have more time off these days than I ever did, right? So the first thing you want to do is get their schedules, okay? And then I would also get with your spouse, okay? Hey, I have a 90-day calendar here. Are there any days that I need to set aside, okay? So vacations, awards, graduations. And because I am pro staying together and having healthy relationships, I personally think people need to have date night at least once a month, if not weekly, right? Because that's when you have your fully engaged time, you know, especially if you're a realtor. A lot of people are like, you know, you're always on your phone, right? Why are you always on your phone? You don't pay attention to me. Well, if you have date night, then leave your phone in the car, leave your phone in the purse, right? And just be intentional about, you know what, I can give my loved one 2 hours of my time. So then that's like your deposit into your relationship. So then you're not always hearing, oh, you're not available. Oh, you're always on social media. Because I'm sure you guys have heard this. They think you're on social media all the time when you're actually working, right? You're like, I'm on social media, but I'm on Messenger because I just got a lead. Or I'm on email and you think I'm chatting with someone. I'm working because this is my computer. Okay. So do those. Okay. And then exercise, I'm just going to put movement here. These are like things I think that you need to put in there. Okay. So figure out what that looks like. Okay. You guys, with what's happening with the with the market right now and with the NAR lawsuit, you have to be in role plays, especially you new agents. You gotta be in role play at least 2 times a week. Okay. I've sent you guys role plays. We just found another role play that I'm going to add. You have to be listening to role plays. And I might bring the Zoom role play back where I go in because I'm going to be there, and I might invite you guys in. But that's me also holding your hand. You have to take control of your business. Chris, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, as far as this, the perfect week, there's no such thing, right? This is a guideline, right? So if you know, the way I have it set up is I have my overlay. I have a basically a phantom calendar that I have behind my regular calendar on my Google. So it overlays, and it allows me to be adjustable because you have your perfect week. But it very rarely doesn't get there. You're going to have a buyer that wants to go outside of your time, you know, the normal times. You're going to have a seller that wants an appointment, and you have to be able to be flexible. That's why I like having the digital versions. I don't like paper calendars anymore. They're just too much to, you know, they don't do anything. They just sit on your table, and if you don't go back to them, you forget about them. But Tanya's 100% right. You have to make time for what's important. I actually started building out my 2029 calendar because I have some big plans for around that time. And I'll build out all my goals behind there, to get me there. So,
Yep.
if you're working a 9 to 5 job, obviously that should be blocked out, on your calendar. Set those appointments and then have your non-negotiables.
Yes, exactly. So role play needs to be in your calendar. Okay. Hisela and Michaela, are you guys getting role plays at all? Or do you guys offer role plays on your teams, or do you have to go find it?
We role play weekly. Yeah, we role play weekly. I'm actually headed in there now for that.
I love it. And let me ask you a question, Hisela. As Hisela has sold hundreds of homes. I don't even know if you know the number. How important do you think being a top producing realtor that role play is important still to your business?
Sorry, I didn't hear that question. It like muted you out for a second.
So you've sold hundreds of homes, if not, I don't even know if you know the total number, but how important do you think it is that you need to continually be role playing and practicing?
I mean, for me, I feel like being ready to handle objections and talking about scripts is so important. Like, so if you aren't ready to handle that, and I'd rather practice in role playing than to practice with my customer and say the wrong thing, or with my client.
When the game is on the line.
What'd you say?
When the game is on the line.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So for me, that's huge. I will say that my first year and a half, first 2 years, I role play. Like I was like, I don't want to do that. It's dumb. I sound stupid. I don't want to do it. But the more I realized how much it helped me in my business, the more open I became to it and the more comfortable I became.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
now I'm like, give me all the role plays.
Because guess
let's
what?
listen to what I have to say, or what other people are going to say, or what challenges could come up.
Yep. Competence equals confidence. Okay. When you know what to say. All right. So going back, so role play should be in your calendar. Prospecting should be in your calendar. Prospecting, if you have a second job, then obviously you're going to have to do it later in the day, or say, you know what, at lunchtime, I'm going to go and I'm going to prospect, or when I get home, I'm going to eat and I'm going to be home this day a week. Or sometimes people that have second jobs, they'll say, you know what, I'm going to get it all done in like 2 days. So I don't have to think about it every day. Open houses. If you don't have any business right now, by the way, tomorrow, Thursday, Michaela and Hisela, it is in Denver, it is in DTC. We're doing a creative open house class, and we have 4 people teaching the class, and they're going to talk about campaigns. They're going to talk about how to use list reports more effectively, like literally all the systems with it all, before, during, and after. Okay. And then I'm also teaching the class. So if you don't have business, then you need to put on there, like, I'm going to do between 2 and 4 open houses a week. But the people that are really have built their businesses, they're like, I'm doing no less than 4 open houses a week. Okay. So you got to find those open houses. Okay. Previewing property. Previewing property is just knowing your local market. It gets you out, it gets you dressed, you know the market, you know how to talk about the properties, and that's helping you get in the houses, schedule appointments. So on game day, when you have a buyer call and say, oh my God, I want to go see this house, you already know how to do it. Okay. Obviously, buyers and sellers are going to go wherever it needs to. And then when are you going to do marketing? The problem is most people spend way too much time marketing and not enough time selling. Okay. So, hold on, let me send this. This real estate workbook, we have one that we just rebranded for you guys. This right here is your call tracking, right? What you measure, what is that quote, Chris? What you measure,
I'm not sure of the quote.
it's about, like, you have to measure your success if you want to know where you're going. Okay. So 1,200 contacts, 200 a month. If you want to sell 24 homes or 12 homes, you either have to have 24 contacts or 1,200 contacts. Okay. If you're a better converter, then it could be less. That could be 50%. But what that means is That's between 25 and 50 contacts a week. 25 contacts a week is not a lot, you guys. If you break that up, that's like 5 a day. 50 contacts a week is like 10 a day. Okay. So this is your dials. These are your contacts. These are your appointments. Like, this is where you go, okay, this is where I'm going to keep track. So I'm going to challenge you guys for the month of June to track everything. Okay. So going back into tracking, I also created this habit tracker for you guys. Okay. Oh, what just happened? Okay. So you see this habit tracker here? Maybe this is the one. I just created a real estate one for you guys and I just filled it in. I think I just closed it. Okay, let me actually open this for you. So, yep, here it is. Okay. So if you want a habit tracker, this is a tracker that tracks 30 days. Start on June 1st, right? Okay, I'm going to prospect. How many days in a row am I going to prospect? Like, give yourself a goal. At the end of the month, I'm going to prospect this many days. How many days am I going to work out? How many days am I going to show or preview property? How many days am I going to role play? Give yourself a goal. And then here's some personal habits. This is, I want to be at the gym at 6:30. Okay. Okay. How many days did I do that? I want to turn my phone off by like 9 o'clock, or I'm not going to look at social media until like lunchtime, kind of thing. Give yourself some sacrifices, right? Create some habits that you guys can build upon. So that's all I have for you today. Every one of you figure out what you're going to eliminate. Use a tracker, habit tracker. What are you going to put in place? And I'm going to challenge you guys to listen to the Miracle Morning for Real Estate. Okay. And message me if you need anything, and message me your win. Message Chris your wins. I've done this habit 5 days in a row. Like, it feels good. So every win gets you closer to your goal. Have a good day.